Okay, here we go. I can show them how to do it when I'm in the zone. Before we start, let me puff that indigo. If I thrust, guaranteed you gon' feel it though.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and here we are, man. It is one of my favorite times of the year because we are at Royal Rumble Week. And do not adjust your televisions, your computer screens, your tablets, your phones, your mobile device that you're probably watching this from. I am bundled up. Oh, I'm layered up. I look like a big burly Russian bear because my heat's out. I have no heat, and it's -7 degrees Celsius here in Germania right now, almost midnight. I'm freezing my tuchus off. Yes, I said tuchus, and it's freezing off. It's incredible how cold I am right now. For a fat guy, you can get really cold. It's pretty incredible. So, yes, we're here to try to warm the cockles of my heart and kick off Royal Rumble Week the best way I know how. And that's with you guys. That's hanging out with you, Mammer Jammers, and having a good time talking about the best moments from Royal Rumble history. Yes, that's what we're going to do in this episode leading up to Monday Night Raw. I figured, better way. Let's take some calls, have some fun, and I'm going to tell you my favorite and my worst Royal Rumbles of all time. And because we start with the negative here, let's start with the negative, man. You know what I mean? Let's start with negative. Black Lagoon, it's cold in Chicago, too. I'm from Chicago, man. Shout out, man. Southside, represent. Christiana Street, man, right off 103rd and Kedzie. Black Lagoon, I like you already. All right. So, first, before I start talking about the worst Royal Rumbles of all time, quick shout out to Sal. Man, he saw me post this link no more than 25 minutes ago for this episode. 25 minutes ago. Okay, he did make a mistake. 25 minutes ago, Sal saw that I was doing this episode, and boom, he got a graphic. Yes, it looks like he made a mistake. It says KICKOFF. I didn't do that. That is Sal, but I'll fix it. Hold on, I'm going to show you my super skills. Watch this. Watch my skills. F. All right, we're going to get a yellow here. I need to match that yellow as good as we can. No, it's more of an orangey. Okay. Watch this. Watch this shit. That's not the right F color, but it'll get the job done. Nobody puts a baby in the corner. Oh my God. And this is why I'm not an editor. There you go. Wait, I'm going to fix this. I did not do this, but Sal, thank you, even if you misspelled a little bit. But still, great job, and I do appreciate that. I'm going to try and get that friggin' the right color here. Let's see here. A little bit brighter? That's close. All right, that'll do the job. Wait, let's wait. Boom. Now we made it bold. Okay, oh, fuck. There you go. That'll do the job. Kick off. So it gets the job done. All right, let's get back to it, man. Thank you, Sal, for your tireless work, man. Just saw that I put it up and boom, got me the graphic. I greatly do appreciate that. It's live television, folks. You never know it's going to happen here. And this is what we do. So let's start with the negative, you know, besides my beanie, besides the beanie. All right. Oh my God, Humboldt Park. You really, Black Lagoon, Humboldt Park, really? My family lived in, I had family members who lived in Humboldt. That's incredible. That's incredible. Anyway, worst Rumble of all time. I'm going to start with two. I'm going to gloss over them. I'm going to finish with what I absolutely think is the by far worst Rumble in the history of wrestling. Not just WWE. It's the worst Battle Royal ever. And I'm going to end with that. But let's start with the two that I think are basically the worst. Two of the other worst. And I'm not going to go the 1988 or any of that. No, because I don't think it's fair. 88, 89, all the first two. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair. But 94, is fair game. 94 is fair game. Fuck 1994. Terrible Royal Rumble. Terrible ending. Lex Luger and Bret the Hitman Hart. Hate it. There's nothing about that Rumble that I like. Nothing about that Rumble that I like. Absolutely hated it. Drove me quay. Sal has corrected his graphic, but I can't put the new graphic in. I can't do it, man. I appreciate you fixing your work, but I can't do anything about it now. Hate that Rumble. It was boring. It felt like it was over long. The star power wasn't there. It didn't do anything for me. I hated that Rumble. And I hate the stupid Luger Bret Hart ending. Oh my God, it drove me nuts. Lex Luger winning things is a good way to get me to check the fuck out, let me tell you. Another one, though, is just a couple years later, and it's the second Shawn Michaels victory, 1996. And for me to say anything is bad with Shawn Michaels is saying quite a bit. But that Rumble, which used to be one of my favorites just because Shawn won, and of course it does lead to one of the better, maybe if not the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, one of the top 5, Michaels, Bret Hart, Iron Man. It also really was an underwhelming, lack of star power, just really ugly match. Just a terrible match. It just, nothing happened. 93 is up there too. I wasn't a big 93 fan either. But 96, it was horrible. It was just god awful. It was so annoying. And the ending, the super kick that really didn't look like it connected on Big Daddy Cool and all that, it was bad. I think Duke the Dumpster was like number 30 that year too. That should tell you quite a bit. But those two don't even hold a candle to the worst Royal Rumble of all time. I just wanted to get over those two because I wanted to get to the absolute worst Rumble of all time, because there's no question in my mind. Not only is it the worst Rumble of all time, but it is the worst booked match in wrestling history. People are shitting on 2015, and I gotta say, 2015 wasn't that bad. Last year's was not that bad. That wasn't all that horrible. I'm sorry. It's pretty bad. We're talking about last year's Royal Rumble. Look, you cannot do what you did. If you want to have Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble, that's completely fine. I was okay with it, but I said leading up to the Royal Rumble that it had to be done a proper way. You couldn't just use Daniel Bryan's elimination as a cast-off. And it was. It was an absolute cast-off. The way him getting knocked out by the Big Show and being just unceremoniously thrown over the top rope, it infuriated the fans. It is the worst booked match in wrestling history. They could have made it work, and they fucking dropped the ball. It was horrendous. It was awful. It made no sense. If they're trying to get a new guy over, why have Kane and the Big Show clear out the goddamn ring like that? Why? It made no sense. And there was good star power. There was great stuff in that match, man. Great stuff. God damn it, it makes me angry because there was great stuff in the match. Awesome shit. And I loved it. Loved it. But that was early. And then everything went down. Everything went down the hill. It could have been epic. They could have done some amazing shit and people could have been talking about it. They could have had epic confrontation between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. They could have done so many other things. Instead, we get a situation so bad that even The Rock gets booed. Even The Rock, arguably one of the top 3 most popular wrestlers in the history of the industry, gets booed out of the building. It's absolute insanity that they would do that. It made no sense. It didn't work, and they got punished for it. And it's taken them forever to try to get that back. But it's okay, because that's the worst. And this year, hopefully, they're going to stay away from stupidity and try to book Roman Reigns strong, and we'll see what happens. Let's get to the best. But before we do, quick shout out to everybody who's hanging out with me. Bear, Joseph, Blunt, Fake Ass Twat, Pittsburgh Boy 96, even though he's in complete denial, actually defending last year's Royal Rumble. What the fuck? Sayel, Sam Harlock, Clinton G. Who else? Man, Donnell Collins. We saw, who else have we saw? I saw some other people up here. Black Lagoon, Grand Slam 87, my boy, Jeff the Huff Huffman. Go check him out over at Grand Slam 87 on YouTube. He's kicking ass right now. Some of the best videos he's ever done, he's doing at this moment. And go check him out. Sub him, like him, share him. Kelvin Acosta. It's just all these people, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. Ya boy appreciates it. So now let's get to the best. Simply the best, better than all the rest. Yeah. All right. The best Royal Rumbles of all time. We're going to start with two that I loved, and then we're going to end with the greatest Royal Rumble in my mind. Okay. We're going to start with one that people are going to be like, you're going to be like, what the fuck, Dave? And then when you think about it, I think you're going to come to my line of thought. 2008. It starts off with Shawn Michaels and the Nick Lewis donated $1. 2015 was the worst Rumble when I was watching the stream cut off, and then I went back and saw Daniel Bryan outside the ring having been eliminated. Yes, Nick Lewis, that is a terrible way to see Daniel Bryan eliminated. Thank you for the donation. If you guys want to donate to the channel, go ahead and feel free to do so. Right in the description box below, click the button, and you'll get the Chewbacca scream and all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, you would think it'd be wrestling related, but no, fuck you. I love Chewbacca. I love Star Wars. Eat me. Eat it. Eat Star Wars, sucker. But I'll probably put another wrestling thing in there eventually. Anyways, 2008, man. Loved 2008. Starts off Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, huge star power throughout the entire match. Everybody is in this match. Very few throwaway entries. You got a show-stopping moment with Roddy Piper and Jimmy Snuka. One dead, one on trial for murder now. Jesus fucking Christ. And then, of course, the John Cena thing. Now, look, 2008 was special to me because it was not 30 days before John Cena made that surprise reemergence that I met John Cena when I got this t-shirt at 2007 Tribute to the Troops in Tikrit, Iraq. I was there, caught that shirt, met John Cena, arm in a sling, hands the size, his hands are bigger than the Big Show's. That's how, his hands are fucking huge, man. I could have put my face in his hand and he would have just, incredible. And I shook his hand, his weak hand, and his arm did not feel right to me. And I didn't think there was any way that we'd be seeing him for another half a year. And then when I get medevaced just 2 days after that, I get medevaced from Iraq. So I'm end up sitting at home watching the Royal Rumble. I'm on morphine. I'm watching the Rumble. And I'm watching that match. I loved it. And then John Cena shows up, and it's one of the few times that I was like, holy shit, John Cena really did something of note here. And it was special. It was awesome. It was just one of those things that really, really hit home with me. And I love that match. Batista, Triple H, John Cena ending it. It just had so many great moments between Shawn and The Undertaker in that match. Just there's so much. It was fantastic. I really, really, really loved that match. But it's not my favorite. It's one of my favorites. The next favorite is 1998. You can't talk about Royal Rumbles without talking about 1998. Amazing cast of legends and great wrestlers. Then you had the incredible backdrop of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was the emergence of Stone. This was Stone Cold. This was where that really hit its crescendo. In the weeks prior to that, Austin drawing the target on him. He's taking out, when you get the 316 on your pager, you better know that your ass belongs to the rattlesnake. You know, that was kind of The Rock there, but oh well. And he was all over the place, man. He showed up. He was kicking ass. There was great. The Rock had an amazing performance in that. I just watched that today on the network. Thank you, network. There was so many great things that happened in that goddamn match. It was so much fun. The three faces of Foley. We got the three faces of Foley in that match. Mick doing all three iterations. We saw Cactus Jack kick off the damn show. We had Mankind and Dude Love, baby. You know, Jim, when I went to the ring as all three of my personalities, I knew that night would be hard. And that if I didn't win, it would not be a nice day. No, it was not a nice day for the Mixer, but he had a hell of a performance and he should be completely happy with that. It was just awesome. It exuded badassery. The Nation, one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a Royal Rumble match, the Nation of Domination, who were not completely tattered at the seams yet, they get into the match individually and they don't work as a unit. Now, all we see is units working together and eliminating people en masse together, and it gets annoying. The Nation of Domination, like 5 or 6 members strong, go into it and they beat the fuck out of each other. I remember when it was Rocky, D'Lo, Mark Henry, and Kama. All 4 of them are in the damn match, beating each other up, and then Farouk comes out. And I'm like, all right, Farouk's going to get these guys to stop beating each other up. Farouk comes and waffles The Rock, man. And he waffles the rest of them. It was awesome. It was great. I loved it. I loved it. 1998 is one of my favorites of all time. It's just great. And then Austin winning it, it was incredible. But it's not the best. The best is just quite simply because it has something in common with what we're going to see this week. It's the first, and until this week, the only time that the WWF Championship has been at stake in a Royal Rumble match. And let me tell you, when Ric Flair, with a tear in my eye, this is the happiest, the greatest, I fucked it up, the greatest moment in my life. With a tear in my eye, Ric Flair winning that Rumble, coming in at number 3. The star power of that match. I mean, it was off the charts. Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Sid. I mean, there was insane how good that Rumble's. Just from look, Battle Royals are not always great matches, okay? They're not always fantastic matches. They're usually very chaotic and they're sloppy and they're ugly. This was an exception to that. This match was like goddamn art. It was so well done. It was just everything about it. It just seemed like everyone took extra care in the match. Hogan did a heelish thing to get Sid eliminated after it. And then seeing Ric Flair, who for months had been proclaiming himself as the true world's champion. It's just one of those things that I can't tell you how much I loved. It was so much fun. It was the best. It was so good. The Bobby Heenan leaving the broadcast booth to go celebrate with Flair. Henning, everything about it, man. And his run would not last very long. But god damn it, seeing Ric Flair in the WWF holding that belt, it was incredible. Knowing the things that I know now, how he left WCW, how, they cut his hair, all this stuff. It's just incredible to me that he was able to come in and work that type of match. I mean, Jesus, he went for over an hour. He's Ric goddamn Flair. And honestly, just until a few years ago, when you asked me who my favorite wrestler of all time was, it was Ric Flair. He dropped to number 2 behind Shawn Michaels. And I'll be completely honest, it's because what Ric Flair did after he was retired by Shawn Michaels, going over and working other matches in TNA and all that stuff, and the abysmal things that he did with the blood gimmicks and everything, it took him down a notch. It really did. But one day, I'm sure after Rick is gone and all of this, in my head, he will go back and reclaim his number one spot in my mind as much as I love Shawn Michaels. Ric Flair is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer in the history of wrestling, and he is my personal favorite. He signed my shirt. He signed it. I caught it off of him. He was rubbing all of his sweat all over it. He throws it in the crowd. All these soldiers going crazy. I reach my grubby little paw out there, and I grab it, and I have to fight this other little fuck. This little dick. I didn't like him anyway. And I was like, you give me that motherfucking shirt, and I'll kill you, because he tried to steal it. It was mine. I caught it. My hand was the first one on that bitch. That was my shirt. And then Triple H signed it. It was so good. Shawn Michaels, favorite of all time. But Ric Flair, make no mistake about it, is the greatest professional wrestler in the history of this industry. He is Michael Jordan. He is the pinnacle. It's just plain and simple. Plain and simple. Fake ass spot. Dave, who's your third favorite wrestler? Sting, Macho Man, Vader's up there. Jake Roberts, man. If I'm being completely honest, I think I put Jake Roberts in that 3 spot. I love Jake Roberts. And Jake the Snake is one of my all-time favorites. Stone Cold I could put in that cat. I mean, there's a bunch of guys. 3 is hard. The first 2 are easy. Shawn and Ric Flair, those are simple. Those are simple. But it's after that, yeah, it gets a little bit more difficult. But there it is. It's 1992, and it's with a bullet. It still holds up. It's still fun to watch. There's not a dull spot in that Rumble. If you have the network, go watch it, because it really is awesome. With a tear in my eye. Love that. Chills. Nom, 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 nom. So good. So good. So, yeah, that's it for me, man. Those are the 6 Rumbles that I really wanted to highlight. Now, there's some other great Rumbles. 2000. I mean, hell, most of the 2000s were fairly solid Rumbles, and it's just good stuff. So, here's what I want to know, man. I want to know what you guys think. So hit me up right now live at David Vancura on Skype. DAVIDVANCURA. Sorry, that information's not up. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA on Skype. Or 702-751-2902. Excuse me, it is up on the screen. I just didn't see it because I'm stupid. Because I'm a big, stupid, dumb face. So you guys can go ahead, call in now. Let me know. I want to hear what your favorite Royal Rumble moments are of all time. And don't worry, man. We got all kinds of stuff. Royal Rumble coverage happening this week. We're going to do prediction show. We're going to talk more about favorite moments. We're going to, here's what I want you guys to do as well. If you guys are not here live and you want to I want to know your predictions. This is what I want you to do. I don't want to hear your predictions now. I don't want you to call in and give me your predictions now. What I want you to do throughout this week, and I'm going to make a separate video so you guys can make sure to do this. I want you guys to call this number when you see I'm not on, okay? I want you to call 702-751-2902 or David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA on Skype, and I want you to leave a message. Go to the voicemail and leave a message, okay? And I want you to give me your predictions for this year's Royal Rumble. And here's what I'm going to do. All of those voice messages, I'm going to make a compilation, and then later in the week at the prediction show, I'm going to play it. So if you're not usually on the show and you don't want to actually have the conversation, but you want to get your predictions out there, go ahead and leave a message. I will play those at the end of the week so everybody will know what the score is, okay? Because I really want to know what people think about this year's Royal Rumble, who you think is going to win. It's really a crazy one. But for now, I want to know what your favorite Royal Rumble matches are of all time and your least favorite. So go ahead and call in on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or 702-751-2902. And if I don't get any calls, I'm going to wrap this bitch up. I'm going to wrap it up because there's no point in continuing to talk when there's nothing to talk about. But while I'm waiting for phone calls, let's do a little bit of a Raw preview tonight, man. We got a lot of cool things happening on Monday Night Raw tonight. I think we're getting Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto number 3. From what I'm understanding, I mean, that's in the teaser about tonight's Raw is Fuck you, Sal. Dave's pick is not the big show. No, Sal. Dave's pick is not the big show. Just because you love Cameron, I don't want to hear about that shit. Speaking of Cameron lovers, here's XLT Live Podcast. There's my man Too Tall up in the chat. But yeah, there's a lot of talk that we are going to get another Kalisto Alberto Del Rio title match tonight. And if that's the case, okay. Are they going to do hot potato? Is Kalisto going to win it back? What are they going to do? Why did he lose it in the first place? I mean, the ratings thing, people saying, well, he lost it to boost ratings for SmackDown. Now, it doesn't make sense. He had just won it on Raw. It doesn't really make sense for him to lose it just really a day later. It makes absolutely no sense. None at all. It didn't do anything for ratings. The ratings dropped. So, no, absolutely terrible. Terrible. There's some other stuff. I mean, we got the highlight reel, Y2J hosting Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman on the highlight reel. I'm sure that's going to turn craziness. What is Roman Reigns going to do? What is his response going to be? Now they're calling him the big dog all the time, and I hate it. The big dog. Really? Arf, arf. The big dog. Ugh, eat it. Oh, my God. So this Raw's got me a little bit perplexed. I got to be honest. The Royal Rumble's got me perplexed. I have no idea what's going to happen in this Rumble because as much as I think Roman Reigns is going to win, I'm not really sure. I am really not sure at this point because they could go different directions and there's a lot of things that they can do. So we'll see what they have. It's going to be very interesting. And actually, I'm looking for a really entertaining Raw tonight. I'm not looking for brilliance. I'm not looking for anything like that. I'm just looking for a solid Raw to help us get to the Royal Rumble on Sunday. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I think we're going to get. I think it'll be entertaining, maybe a tad predictable like last Monday, which was really, really predictable. But I think it's going to be a decent Raw, so I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are going to be here directly after Monday Night Raw, live with me, talking everything that happened. We're going to talk Brock Lesnar. We're going to talk Roman Reigns. We're going to talk a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to be taking your calls, your questions, all that good stuff. Fake ass twat. Dave, did you hear the rumors about AJ being in the Rumble? Have you not heard me talk about this? Not only do I, the rumors, I have stated many times, I put my dick out online, and I have said AJ Styles will be in this Rumble, and there's video of him basically confirming it. AJ will be in the Rumble more than likely unless WWE decides to do one of those things where they're like, well, the fans know, so we're going to play a little trick on him, and he's not going to be in the Rumble. That'll learn him. Fucking assholes. More than likely I can see something like that happening, but AJ will be there. I'm fairly confident in that. Jordan Turner, you and your background noise are live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. It'd be better if I didn't hear a goddamn jungle going on in the background.
That's my little brothers and sisters.
Oh, well, geez, don't call into live shows then.
Can you hear me now?
Not very well, but go ahead. What you got?
I literally think Triple H is going to win the Royal Rumble.
I think it's possible. I really I don't want that to happen, but I think it's possible. Look, I know a lot of people are saying that. I think it's becoming a popular pick to have him win and become the champion again. Here's why I don't think it's going to happen. There's a few reasons. One, Triple H really hasn't been around, and I don't think him winning the belt will do anything more than piss people off. I don't think that there's a positive outcome. Second, that means more than likely at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns will be winning back the title, thus becoming a 3-time WWE champion, which again will only piss people off. I think they have to know that. So I don't see them doing that, but it wouldn't shock me either at this point because some of the booking they've done over the last couple of weeks have been horrendous. What else you got?
I see Becky Lynch beating Charlotte in an upset.
We're doing a full prediction show later in the week, so I don't really want predictions right now. This is more of a best of what's your favorite Rumble moments because we're doing a full-on prediction show, and if you give me your predictions now, then you wasted them. Then I don't have them, and then we can't talk about them later in the week.
I think my favorite Royal Rumble match. I mean, I wasn't born around this time because I was born in '95, but I went back and watched the '92 Royal Rumble.
92 is the greatest.
I loved it.
It's the greatest Rumble of all time.
I loved it. Yeah, I totally
with
agree.
a tear in my eye. Yeah, it's the greatest Rumble.
I also liked when Rey Mysterio won the Rumble at the number 1.
No. Look, that was actually a good Rumble. I hate Rey Mysterio winning matches. I have no problem when he was winning against like the luchadors and all that stuff, but he's like eliminating the Big Show, and it's like, oh my god, I want to kill myself.
He eliminated Randy Orton and stuff.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts. Look, I'm not saying that small men can't beat up big men, but it gets to a point where it's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, when he won it, I was proud of him, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, he really eliminated Randy Orton from a Hurricane Rana, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
What about least favorite Rumble? Least favorite Rumble.
Oh, the least? Wow. I have to go with 2011.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that the Del Rio Rumble? Which Rumble was that? Or was that the Sheamus Rumble?
Number 4, with the 40?
That was the 40.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Del Rio. That was terrible. Yeah, that was a really bad one. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I hated that Rumble too. I agree. That could have been a great Rumble, and it just wasn't.
It could have. But do you think 40 minutes they went a little too far?
I don't know. I like the 40-person idea. I don't have a problem because I loved World War III in WCW. Loved it. So I don't know. It doesn't really bug me. I feel like I'm being trolled by Too Tall. Call in, Too Tall, because if I want to know if you're trolling me or not. This is stupid. Dave, you hear the TNA invasion room around the Rumble. I haven't heard about that yet.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, man. I'm pretty nervous about the Royal Rumble match. Not the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, but the Royal Rumble match. I'm pretty antsy. I'm pretty nervous.
Hell, it's the only thing that's booked right now. There's hardly any other matches booked.
Aren't there like 2 matches that are booked? The Last Man Standing and the Divas match. That's it.
The Divas match isn't even confirmed yet.
It's not really?
No, Charlotte hasn't accepted. That's one of the points of tonight. She's going to accept a challenge tonight.
So that's like only 2 matches that are booked, and then obviously the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah. This is one of those years where the Royal Rumble is really going to determine how good the entire pay-per-view is. That match is utterly important this year, so we'll see what they decide to do. Hey, I appreciate the call, Jordan.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Keep up the great work, and you're kicking ass.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Have a really, really good night. We'll see you after Monday Night Raw, buddy.
I will, man. All right, now. Take care.
Take it easy. Jordan Turner, everybody. Jordan Turner. Yeah, it's people are getting frazzled and crazy about the Royal Rumble this year because I think a lot of people are like, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Other people are like, no, it's going to be good. And I don't know. I'm like, it's going to happen. That's my prediction. The Royal Rumble will happen. Other than that, I really don't know. And I'm kind of excited about that. Because like I got my head telling me one thing and I got my heart telling me another. And I think it's very possible that they completely screw this Rumble up. I think it's very possible that they pull same shit like they did last year because they simply don't know how to get a guy over. And we'll see if they learned any lessons from last year. We'll see. If Roman Reigns starts the Rumble at 1 and he's eliminating people left and right and overcoming the odds and all that shit, then we know they haven't learned a goddamn thing. But we'll see what happens, man. There should be a lot of surprises. I think it'll be some fun. Hopefully things people aren't expecting, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, look, man, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We got Monday Night Raw in just a little while, and I will be live directly after Monday Night Raw. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for those who called in. Hope you guys had fun. And this was the kickoff to Royal Rumble week, man. And we talked about my favorites and worst Royal Rumbles of all time. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you a little bit later on live after Monday Night Raw. Be there. Don't miss it. It's going to be interesting as shit. We'll see you guys a little bit later on. Keep it copious. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Peace.